Hello and welcome to the Vongino Predicament, one of several shows hosted by a proud white man who in fact can eat spicy food, and it's like not even a problem. Okay? I dip my one chip challenge into the hot one sauce, and the whole time I'm just sucking on a goddamn ghost pepper like a lollipop, which is cool. Lollipops are cool now, and in fact, actually maybe you had painful diarrhea the first time you tried Cool Ranch Doritos. So stop the racist fear-mongering, Kamala Harris. And also that story's like a week old, so let's talk about some more recent news. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is just the latest in a long line of Democrats to have left the left. And it was in fact very convenient for the left to call themselves that for the purposes of me later saying people will be leaving them. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has endorsed his best friend, Donald J. Trump, a normal guy who every day gets better at talking and knowing when he's talking. We're going to talk all about it, speaking of talking, because I'm a journalist. And after you hear me break it all down, you will no longer need any further schooling and/or reading of any kind. Books are archaic. All information should be gleaned from moderate centrist YouTube channels and/or Snapple lids. You can also get information. Remember the Snapple lady? Whatever. Let's in fact start the show. Okay, so straight up, just fuck the Ukrainians, okay? I've had it up to here with them, which is far too high to have had a thing. They are the enemy of this great country, America, a land built on freedom and opportunities, and occasionally the freedom to have an opportunity, and also vice versa. The Democratic Party, the radical, communist, dingest Democratic Party, is taking your hard-earned tax dollars and sending it over to Ukraine, just so they can continue to expand the borders of their war. A war that will eventually suck in your precious children and grandchildren and have them go off to die in service of the military-industrial complex. Also, if you ever subscribe to an OnlyFans for Ukrainian 69420 and pay extra for the dick rating, and then you send it to them, and instead of giving you an honest, I asked for honest, dick rating, instead they just post pictures of your penis all over the internet and laugh at it, then you should be allowed to get your money back. And that's why Vladimir Zelensky should be in jail. Okay, so as many of you know, I went through a terrible divorce last year, and this was in addition to me losing a big job opportunity with the Daily Wire, who of course wanted me to be a janitor. As it turns out, Big Tech is in bed with Big Con, and they're having sex in that bed, because that's what beds are for. So anyway, I had to turn down the job due to a variety of moral and ethical concerns. And also in the interview, they showed me a picture of a Palestinian child, and I didn't immediately start firing a gun at it. So they didn't hire me. And the combination of that financial hardship and the hardships in my romantic life, that combination has been referred to by many experts as, quote, a real fun time for anyone who likes to see Steve Vongino cry and shit at the same time. My wife was, of course, a mail-order bride who I originally thought was Vietnamese, but it turns out she was just holding her eyes like that as a joke. No, she was actually Eastern European, I think Ukrainian, because she simply will never give up a fight, no matter how badly I was dominating her. And also for the record, I did not beat my wife just because she was refusing to give our dog his heart medicine. No, she actually beat me up, as you can see in the Ring camera video footage, which has been used in a series of nationwide ads by Ring.
I am strongly opposed to violence against women and also from them.
So that whole experience has left me with a bit of a parlance for the Ukrainian people, pussy-wise. It's called Borscht Fever, and it's the subject of a very popular Broadway play that will be premiering just as soon as I write and then memorize it. So after my breakup, I found myself scouring the internet, truly God's loneliest corner, looking for the merest crumb of love and affection and the previously mentioned pussy. That, of course, led to many websites where women who assure me they're 19 stuff a variety of vegetables inside their orifices. And let me tell you something, those vegetables are huge. I think it's a Chernobyl thing. And so I would sob and masturbate, and that was one hell of a Tuesday. And now, consequently, I am fully on the side of the Russians, and I am not paid to say that. That being said, I'm open to being paid to say that. Comstock Vladimir. Solaris. Lovensevolingnastock. PayPal vaginalpredicament@gmail.com. And that's it. I'm not being blackmailed by Vladimir Putin. Stop saying that. What's he going to do? Release my dick pic again? Maybe this time he'd call it the fat pening, like it's the fappening, but also I'm fat. Yeah, I mean, I guess he could do that. But that's not at all related as to why Ukraine is the enemy of the United States. And maybe Yakov Smirnov is capable of being funny and clean. Okay? You don't gotta work blue, and Yakov proves that. In Soviet Russia, Ukraine invades you. Wait, that actually happened. And I'll tell you who's with me in total opposition to all war. War is bad. War sucks. Pew, 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 war. If you've ever bought Saving Private Ryan on Blu-ray, you were to the right of me in foreign policy. That's right, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's against war, and he's pro-environment. And when it comes to vaccine, he believes in common sense solutions, like largely making them out of dead whale liquids. He's also today's top story. RFK Jr., as he's known to his friends, which you aren't, so don't call him that, only I get to, was running for president as a Democrat. He gave a number of speeches advocating his support of the Democratic Party, from whence his father and his uncle came. A number of speeches that you should absolutely not look up. Damn, does his voice sound bad. Do not listen to him. He sounds like a slowly deflating balloon, but the balloon also has AIDS. Anyway, he's pro-Trump now. That's right. Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. has ended his campaign for president of the United States and has instead offered a full-throated, or at least as full as his throat can go, endorsement of President Donald Joseph Trump. And this has the Democrats running and shitting, in that order, out of fear. And maybe a little bit of sexual excitement, because while Donald Trump already had the MAGA vote sewn up, as well as the vote of every single other red-blooded, sane American, he was already on track to win an easy 51-state landslide, presuming we let Texas count as 2 states due to, how fat everybody is. Now Trump's going to win even harder. And that is all because of that famous old Kennedy blessing. And many in the mainstream media, all of them gay, some even gay Disney gay, they're trying to pass this off as somehow desperate for Donald Trump, a man who got shot and then everyone felt bad for him for a really long time, and the effects of it are in fact making him really high energy and lovable, and at no point has he just passed out in the middle of doing a podcast and everyone's looked around the room and been like, oh shit, is this when it's happening? These liars in the mainstream media, they're saying that RFK Jr. is in fact weird. It's the latest buzzword the radical left cult keeps regurgitating. They want to call us being moderate centrists. I am not a conservative. Don't say that. That's disgusting. Gross. Never, ever call me a conservative. Also, I love conservatives. Don't unsubscribe. They want to call us weird just because we believe in common sense things like faith and family and strong borders and, individualism and also community and doing things by yourself at the same time as you're doing things with other people. And also we need to keep track of how many eggs a woman has at any given moment to make sure they're not wasting them. Remember, ladies, every menstrual cycle you complete, God cries just a little bit inside. We're not weird.
It's normal to ask about the evolutionary advantages of the postmenopausal female. Look in the mirror, buddy.
The thing is, RFK Jr. is willing to ask the tough questions. The kind that the radical left wants to censor. It's wild for me to think about because back in the day, I was a punk rock skateboarder who raged against the machine. And I thought the left were the ones who were pro-free speech and anti-war and maybe even skeptical of big pharma. Now, these extreme left communists are willing to censor any voices who say maybe, just maybe, the war in Ukraine is a Jewish psyop designed to vaccinate all the kids into being trans unless we feed and/or bathe them in bear meat. Listen, he's a Kennedy. And as soon as they figure out a cure for what is medically known as gay throat disease, then they'll have that accent back and bam, park the car in the Harvard yard because Camelot's back, baby. I do need to admit, let me just put it out there. I know RFK Jr. a little bit, or Bobby, as I call him, all right? We met on the popular subreddit r/whalefuckers. Now, let me answer your first question. No, we don't fuck the whales. Okay, common misconception. I'm not here to judge anyone, all right? Unless you're trying to groom kids into whale fucking. That I am against. But overall, it's just not for me. And most days, it's not for Bobby either. You know, it's just the only place on the internet to get advice on transporting and/or preserving large quantities of whale. We need to understand, Bobby and I believe in saving the environment, as long as it in no way inconveniences any small businesses. And also, ExxonMobil counts as a small business due to how small all their stores are, okay? So that's why me and Bobby did a meetup at the nearest beach, which at the time I incorrectly thought was 1,500 miles away in Fort Lauderdale, and we cut the head off a beached whale. Or at least it was beached after we were done with it, all right? It's hard to keep swimming when you don't got a head, you whale-ass bitch. And the whole drive back home, which was, of course, to the Kennedy family compound in Havana, Cuba, weirdly enough, we kept the windows down, and we were screaming at the top of our lungs, "This is for the environment!" Also, don't get your kids vaccinated unless they're both Chinese and Jewish. It has to be both or else they'll explode. And that is why this endorsement is going to change the scope of the election. Now, I'm not saying that Trump should replace J.D. Vance with Bobby as his new running mate. Especially because, well, J.D.'s an old friend. All right, we grew up together here in Columbuston, Ohio. George Lincoln Rockwell High School, graduating class of, don't worry about the year, go! Well, you can't actually say the name of our mascot on YouTube, but the point is JD's a great guy, and he never once bullied me by putting his balls on my forehead and having someone else photograph it, because he apparently had people photograph everything he did in high school. I don't know. If those pictures show up, they're AI deepfakes. He has huge balls. If he teabagged me, I'd be dead. So I'm not saying Trump should replace him with a Kennedy. But there are a lot of old people in New England, and if they just see the name Kennedy, they might think it's 1963 again and just get really excited that BET doesn't exist yet, and then just wildly smash that vote button. So, you know, consider it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Oh my God, we're back. I'll never leave you guys again. Like and subscribe. You gotta like, you gotta subscribe. Smash that button. It's down there. I'm on the social medias, TikTok, Instagram. I don't know what I'm doing in this voice now. Instagram, and of course, Patreon. Back to a better voice. We're on Patreon. Guys, for $5 a month, that's nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can count that high. You've got that much money. That's how that works. Elon Musk can count the highest. That's why he has the most money. For $5 a month, ladies and gentlemen, you get exclusive bonus content. A weekly bonus episode every Monday. You get access to live stream polls. You get to ask me questions, behind the scenes footage, and of course you get an executive producer credit. It's an executive producer credit. These people produce the show. Look at their names. Say their names out loud. If you're watching this at home, say their names out loud. If you're watching this like you're on a public bus or you're driving in your car or maybe you're at, child support court right now, scream the names at the top of your lungs. It's the only way to defeat the woke mind virus. All right. I love you guys. I got another video coming up right soon. And until next time.
Man, whatever happened to the rest of the kid? Was they all dead? Is he the only one left?
Shut up and sit down.